Three, two.
2, 1.
He was the king of rock on Survivor season 46. He was also the third place finalist. Joining me now is none other than Ben. Ben, how are you feeling now that the finale's aired, now that the season's out?
Um, I feel great. It's a lot. It's
Mhm.
absolutely crazy. Um, it's like, dude, I just went through it really hard, and we're here to tell the story. I'm relieved. It's been a wild ride. Like, here we are. Uh, I don't know, man. I got a lot of words. I got a lot of words. You got any questions?
I got some questions for you. Let's go. So we're going to start kind of heavy, but the night terrors, the panic attacks you were experiencing out there on the island. First of all, I love that the editors chose to leave this in because I think it's important for all the viewers dealing with mental health and maybe people that have had similar experiences. But kind of walk me through what was happening in those moments without going too dark. Because I
I
know
don't
this was
go as
something
dark
that you
as you
were,
want, bro.
well, because I know you were continually, kind of dealing with this on the island. So, just kind of walk me through that.
My body and my brain were not correlating. I think the lack of food, being uncomfortable with the elements, the intensity of the game, just hit in this way that started gradually ascending day by day. It was crazy because I could rationalize what was happening, but I would
Hmm.
wake up in such physical pain. I was always cold. Even when it was hot outside and people were like sweating, I was wearing everything. I couldn't find insulation. And then it starts wearing you down mentally. Like, I'm here, everyone's playing hard, I have no energy. I didn't eat from the merge feast to the pizza reward except for like a scoop of rice one time. At the same time, that's the great thing about Survivor. You dig deep. And I'm like, this will be over at some point. Just like the panic attack, so will the game. So
Mm.
don't let this be why you leave. Sit on your bed after and be like, I was myself against all the elements. We slayed hard, we rocked hard. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So it was tough. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Kenzie and Charlie and Liz and Venus for ripping it up out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was very obvious that the support from the other people really helped you kind of get by. Now, something that maybe shocked the viewers a little bit, maybe shocked you a little bit, I don't know, was you winning that final immunity challenge. What did that win mean to you?
Um, it was a lot. It was very much, very intense. It was very much this like we're at the end. Like I know I had some moves, but like my gameplay is going to be relegated to something that's also Charlie's gameplay and Kenzie's gameplay. And just wanted the necklace personally. I was like, I wanted like I knew I wasn't a challenge beast, but it's like there are things I could have done. And like for some challenges, I was having a hard time seeing straight and I didn't want to count myself out. And after the pizza, I had a second wind. You see it where I start crushing the dolphin puzzle, but I just couldn't beat Maria. She was too good. And it was just like this weird thing where it's like you feel so spiritual sometimes randomly. Like, what is this giant pinball pachinko machine doing here?
Hmm.
This is I think of the Power Rangers episode where the pachinko machine is the bad guy and it's alive. And I think of the Ninja Turtles arcade pachinko I played as a kid when my parents were at work. And I'm like, I felt like the universe was like, Ben, one time you can get your
Hmm.
one thing, you know? And I remember just sitting there laughing, just like, why are you laughing? I'm like, I'll tell you if I win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't care that much. I just went for it. At that point, the final four were so close for a long time, but now we didn't have to deal with everybody else. We could just be ourselves.
Yeah.
I felt permission to just have fun with it. This
Hmm.
wholesome energy took over that day that wasn't there for quite some time. And it was very rhythmic. It was like playing a song. It was just like this. I remember when Jeff asked me what it was like. Funny anecdote I haven't told anybody, but Jeff's putting the necklace on. And as he's putting the necklace on, I'm like, hold on, let me take my cell phone out. And I pulled out an imaginary phone to take a selfie. It was like, this is going to be my new Facebook profile pic. And it really just came down to like, everybody couldn't make sense of the two, but it was like, to me, the pachinko machine was like playing the guitar and doing the puzzle was like singing. So I found
Mm.
my rhythm between the two. I just
Yeah.
ran back and forth. And I just knew if I paid attention to the ball, it wouldn't slip, you
Mm,
know? I don't know. It was especially since I had Sing Pinball Wizard at two
sure.
challenges before that. It was
Yeah.
like it was prophetic, you know?
Yeah, it was meant to be. I think that's actually really interesting though, hearing that kind of comparison to you playing and singing at the same time. So that makes a lot of sense. Now, you did make the final three because you won that final immunity challenge. So kind of walk me through what was going through your head walking into that final tribal. And I'm curious, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but I'm curious, did you actually think that you had a chance of winning heading into final tribal?
I knew I had no chance.
Yeah.
I played a secretive game. You know, I've been talking about it all day. None of it was shown. There's context for all of it. You know, the gem vote is portrayed as like this Charlie Maria in the middle thing, but I threw her name out on day two. I was like, Gem is going to slit us at the merge. I was constantly like, I would never say mean things about Gem, but I'd wait till Gem said kind of like sus, be like, y'all saw that? Y'all saw that? And I did that with losing my vote. That white lie of, I don't know if I have my vote or I don't know if I'll have an extra vote, allowed people to be like, what if Ben does have power? You know what I mean? I got to the merge. Q and Maria sunk my game. But like everybody sees me being so harsh towards Q. Q and I got along to an extent. I was like, I'm gonna not rock with you in this way, but like everybody's playing hard. You kind of lost your position after you pretended to want to quit. But like he wanted to play and I wanted to play, and nobody would have seen the two of us working together. I said in my pre-press, I wanted a face-off level blindside. You had two enemies who came together. Every day I would tell Q, I'm going to be super harsh to you tonight, but if I'm not harsh to you, the target's not going to go. And look, no
Mm,
idols got played. And in the edit, right before we vote, I'm always kind of the last voice of like, I think we've had enough of Q, but then I never write his name down. And then the
mm,
one day I'm friends with him and I'm wearing the Q skirt, the guy goes home. And I
yeah.
had it for Maria because she had sunk my game too. And that pizza party reward was really a farce, where it was like they wanted me to sit at final three and turn on Charlie and Kenzie. And Q was supposed to write Kenzie's name, but I did have a slip of the brain. And I did say Kenzie's name, but in the confessional, I did say Venus. I wish they showed that. And
Interesting.
and there was a wedge that I put between everybody because of all that stuff. Like they got back and they're like, Ben's not trustworthy. But this is the first time they're talking strategy with people they only gave orders to the whole game. So it put
Yeah.
me again in this swing vote position that I was like, other people's perception is going to be, what do we think? And I'm like, who's a bigger threat at the end? These two people playing so hard that they ignored us, or this dude that's been having night terrors and smiling the whole time, you know? And I think maybe part of the reason that isn't shown is because I played so closely with Charlie,
Sure.
like there's evidence of it in the Hunter vote, where it's like I was cool with Tiff. I didn't want Tiff to go home, but I also knew Hunter could win every challenge if he survived another day. And
Yeah.
like, and it's like, there was gameplay, but I just wanted a chance to tell that story that you see my Night Terrors for one episode, really. You see some of it. I was having it the whole time and I was still out there including myself in conversations. I was never waiting for somebody to tell me what to do. Like I put a smile on. I made fun memories with my friends that weren't game related. Like, I painted a flag for Jeff that was presented at that Q blindside, even though it wasn't me giving it to him wasn't shown. I'm the one who was like calling out Spicy Jeff and he started
Yeah.
ramping up. So I'm like, even if like my story isn't fully told, I know I lived it, and
Yeah.
there's more depth than just the panic attacks. But when it comes to Final Tribal, it's also another reason I had Charlie and Kenzie there, because I knew I wasn't going to win, and I wanted the two people who looked out for me the most to have a shot.
To
And
have
I
it
know some
battle it
people
out. Yeah.
might say that's dumb. It's a game for $1 million, but I'm also not an idiot. You got to know how to read the room.
Yeah.
Like that Secrets Six, now known as the jury, never wanted to work with me.
Yeah.
So, like, would I convince them when Charlie played a masterful game, worked his way into those dynamics? Nobody, nobody put Kenzie's threat level on blast, and they all got along with me. Once my game was sunk in that secret scene about the idol with Gem and all this stuff, there was 2 days nobody talked to me at camp. And that's why I
Yeah.
broke down in front of Charlie at the beach, because it
Yeah.
was like, I know it's a game, but like I'm human too. And in
Yeah.
the end,
There's
it
a
was,
lot of depth to your game here. My final question, really quick, 'cause I think we're out of
yeah,
time, Ben. I just have to know real briefly, tell me the
Charlie.
name. If you, Charlie, that what you're going to say?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you would have voted for Charlie in the end. All right. Well, Ben, thank you so much for joining me. Congrats on so much success on the season of Survivor. And hopefully we'll see you again maybe in the future.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.